Hello, this is Gamer7685, and I am here to do a, oh gosh, I already forgot the name, a Game Maker tutorial. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to pose them in the comments. So that's pretty much it. So the first thing you need to know about this is what all these are. And now, so these are resources, and resources is pretty much what defines your game as a game. So yeah. So first of all, sprites are like your graphics. They make a picture of something so that it can be displayed on the screen. Sounds, pretty obvious. You can assign sounds to an object, which we'll be getting into. You got the backgrounds, which, well, it's a background. You got paths, so you can assign a certain object to move in a certain pattern. Got scripts and shaders. I'm not really sure what those do as of right now, but I'll be getting into those. Pretty sure scripts are like if you click on something, it will say it, or something like that. Or if you like walk near it, it will say something. And I think shaders is, well, it shades something out so that it looks like there's a light coming from somewhere. And now, fonts, you can make fonts for text if you want it to be displayed. Timelines if you want, well, it's pretty much just like a timeline for a video, except it's for Game Maker. So, pretty much if you want it to do something, or like an animation, if you want an animation to take place, you would do timelines. So you got the objects, which will be like the main thing. That can be your players, your enemies, food, guns, whatever. You got your rooms, which you need to do anything. So your rooms are pretty much you're like levels. Now you included files and extension, and that you don't need to worry about that. That's fine. So if you double click on game information, you can type in a bunch of stuff here, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't see the point, since this is a tutorial. So first thing we're gonna do is go up here to this icon, which is create a sprite, or just right click on sprites and click create sprite. Now I'm gonna name this SPR underscore for sprite underscore player, because I'm gonna be creating the player first. And now you can go into edit sprite and then new, select what you want, double click here and you can edit. But I'm not gonna do that because I already have one loaded. So I'm gonna do load sprite. I'm gonna go to where I saved it. Here. Just a little happy face, but yeah. So if you see, I can do edit sprite. There we go. And that's my happy face. Yeah. You're so happy. Anyway, so yeah. So now I'm gonna click the center button to just center this, which is it'll come later when you do, if it contacts with something, it has to meet there, but whatever. So click center, like draw your sprite, pause here if you're not caught up. Okay, so draw your sprite, or just load up one, then click center, then click OK. Now you've done that. Okay, that's all you have to do for that. Now you want to create an object, so right click objects, click create object, or go up to here, this circle, and press it. So now we're gonna go obj underscore player. player. So now we have to link the sprite to the object so that it knows what to display. So you click on this no sprite thing inside this little box under the name. Click on it and it will display all your sprites. Now click SPR_player. There you go. Underscore player. Now that's it for that. So you click OK. Let's create a room now. So I'm pretty sure it's this button. Yeah. So you either click this button or right click on rooms. Click create room. Let's just maximize this here. And now, so this is your room. You can go over here and look where you want, but for now I'm just going to stay there. Now up here, make sure this is on a 32 by 32 snap grid. It just makes it a bit easier. Now, you want to go over here to objects, click on it. It changes around, but don't worry. Make sure you're on objects. Click this. There should be nothing there. Click this and click object player. Now you can click anywhere you want him to be. There you go. You can also make him bigger, but I'm going to keep him 32 by 32 for now. Which that is actually too big. There we go. And now, if you place too many of one object and you want to delete it, simply do this, right click and click delete. Or you can hold control, hold right mouse button with a right click, just hold it and just hover over some objects and it'll delete them. So yeah, now what we're gonna do is, well, we're done for that, so click the check mark. That's another thing, you have to click the check mark or else it won't work. Unless you're in one of these, then you click OK. It's just the check mark. So now we can run the game, and you will see once it pops up here, hold on, you'll see there's a little character. Oh, this is our first step. We got our character loaded. And yeah, so now we can't move him or anything, so that's a bit of a downside. So you can hear me clicking this, I hope, but he doesn't move. So exit out of that. Make sure to exit or else it'll just mess things up because you won't be able to click the play button. Double click object player. Now you have the events and actions. Now events can be all these, which I will be getting into depth when we get into them, and actions, which is the actions for the event that happens. So first we're gonna add an event called a create event. Now this create event will it will, like, for what I'm gonna be using it for is for what you call variables, and we'll be getting into that a bit later. Now over here you have the standard drag and drop options. So you drag and drop. Cancel. I'll just delete that. But I don't like that. I don't like these. You have a lot more maneuverability when you do code. So go here to control, drag and drop some code. You should get this small window. So yeah, so this is your window. Now what you want to do is you want to create a variable called player speed. Now you can't call it speed because that's already in the game, so I just call it player speed so that I know that it's not let's say a speed for a monster or for a boss or something. So now player speed, so that's our variable. Now you do space equals space, so that's telling it player speed is a variable, and how much player speed do you want. So I'm gonna put 5 because I like that speed. Now we're gonna click the check mark and we're done with that. So click add event, a keyboard event, and do left. Drag some code in, and now we'll do x minus equals, and then we have to do well, the speed, which in this case player speed, and this variable tells it that wherever this variable is said, I guess, it will instead of putting a number, it will tell wherever this name is, wherever it is, it will set it. It'll pretty much change it in the code. It will pretty much change the player's speed to 5. So that's just helpful for when we go into here. We don't have to go through left, right, up, and down. It just helps. So now we want to do x plus equals player speed. And I forgot to mention this. You want the semicolons after every piece of code you do. You don't need it, but it's pretty much just like proper grammar. Like, it's saying, if you type another thing here, like, I'll do the exact same command, so x plus equals player's speed. So this is saying, pretty much, this is one sentence, so let's start the other. And if you don't, it's pretty much just a run-on sentence, but it will work anyway. So don't pressure yourself too much on that. It will work anyway. So click the check mark when you're done. Now go to keyboard, then do up, drag a piece of code in. This time it's different. You want to do Y, because X controls side to side and Y controls up and down. So we want to do Y minus equals, and then player speed, and then semicolon. And the opposite for down. So y plus equals player speed. Sorry, I just couldn't click the button. So now click the check mark. Now you're done with the movement. We'll be updating this a bit later, just to keep space. So now we can run the game. And we can let it load. Just hold on. There. Now if we click the arrow keys, we move. But there's not much to do. You can just move and you can go right out of the screen, which kind of sucks. So what I normally do for that is, we'll just click OK. We'll go into room 0. We'll maximize this here. What I normally like to do, but this is totally my opinion. You guys can do something different if you'd like. But I'll create an object that would reset the game, or just kill you, or just take away some life, whatever you want. So yeah, I would just put it. I'll just use the player as an example. And I would put it right here on the outside. So if the player ever went to here, it would either reset, take away some health. Yeah. But I don't want that there, so control, hold click, right click, and there you go. So that's gonna be it for this episode. Yeah, so it's pretty much just a movement episode. So introduction and movement. And yeah, so yeah. So I'll see you guys next time. So, yeah, bye.